Back in the days of the so-called Clinton regime, the Clinton administration, when Bonnie and Clyde were running this country, I call Bill and Hillary Bonnie and Clyde, given the 40 plus scandals that they committed when they were in office, only to be exceeded by what Joe Biden has done with taking bribes from communist China, Ukraine, Russia, negligent homicide in Afghanistan, you name it. I tangled with James Carville. He was the primary political advisor, if you call him that. He was a hitman for Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton. In addition, he ran the war room with George Stephanopoulos. You've heard about him lately, the host of ABC This Morning, another lowlife of the highest magnitude who's been attacking Trump lately, and frankly, anybody who supports other than Joe Biden. Just yesterday, James Carville reared his ugly head again. And believe me, he is ugly. I mean, he looks like he's got 2 feet in the grave at this point. Looks like a skeleton. But apparently he's come back to haunt not just President Trump, but also the entire country. He threatened President Trump yesterday with Anderson Cooper on CNN, so much so that CNN's had to take the video down. He said that surrogates, others, were going to do the wet work for Joe Biden because Joe Biden can't defend himself and can't attack Trump. He's not strong enough. Wet work, apparently, is a CIA term, meaning take someone out, to kill them. So Anderson Cooper said, is that a mafia term? And Carville didn't deny it. Well, going back to my days at Judicial Watch, I deposed James Carville, and I obtained information which showed that President Clinton had committed a crime along with Carville by releasing the Privacy Act protected files of a woman that had been harassed in the Oval Office by Bill Clinton, Kathleen Willey. She was harassed after her husband died. Classy, huh? I represented Kathleen Willey as well. Well, you've got my pledge to go after Carville again. He wants to play that game. I'll play that game with him. He is a lowlife, excuse the term, scumbag, and he will be held accountable. He should be arrested today by the Secret Service. President Trump is still under Secret Service protection for threatening the life of a former president. But of course, that won't happen. So I want you to go to freedomwatchusa.org, contribute to our cause with tax-deductible contributions. We'll deal with the likes of Carville and Stephanopoulos and company. Not because we're trying to influence an election, but also because we believe in the rule of law and holding people to account. The Republicans won't do it. They'll just play games. That's why we have to step in at this point. And I'm going to attach to this video, this podcast, a recitation in an article written by those at Fox News of what Carville said to Anderson Cooper, as well as a deposition that I took in part of Carville. He was deposed more than once, where it acknowledges that this was during the Judicial Watch days when I was fighting the Clintons, where the judge said that he had lied to try to avoid being deposed at a particular point in time. Well, it was much worse than that, because during that deposition, which is another transcript, we will see that he participated with Bill Clinton in releasing the Privacy Act protected files of a woman that Bill Clinton harassed in the Oval Office, Kathleen Willey, to smear her as well. This is what we're up against. It's a war between the right and the left. And there's a reason why we're called the right, because we're right. And there's a reason why we have to fight back. One side's going to win, one side's going to lose, and we have to make sure peacefully and legally that we're the side that wins. It's the future of this country which is at stake. So rise up, fellow citizens. I want to thank you for supporting Freedom Watch and me all these years, but it's time now to band together, because unless we all hang together, we'll all hang separately, in the words of Benjamin Franklin. I'll be back tomorrow with another special podcast. Until then, remember, the Father and Son will only help us if we help ourselves. Father and Son are on our side. They're not on the side of the likes of James Carville and George Stephanopoulos, his sidekick, who had this war room to destroy all the women that could have threatened Bill Clinton's political career, and most particularly Hillary Clinton after that. I'll see you tomorrow. Until then, thank you for listening to me.